Welcome back, Just Stop Hoyle. It's time to talk about Sir Lindsay Hoyle, the big spending Speaker of the House of Commons, yet again. We learned a couple of days ago, and we did cover the story last night, he's been off on another one of his many very expensive globe-trotting jaunts around the world. In the past couple of years, he's been to Australia, to Los Angeles, he's been to the Cayman Islands. When he went to Montserrat, he actually chartered a private jet. He's been to Malaysia. He's been all over the shop, all over the place, always flying first or business class, always staying in very exclusive, expensive hotels, some of them at £900 a night, that sort of thing, hiring chauffeur-driven limousines, thousands of pounds worth, taking his staff with him, taking his wife with him sometimes. I'm not sure that I don't think we paid for his wife in the end, but we certainly paid for him, and we certainly paid for his staff. So this guy is chalking up one hell of a lot of money, and his expenses that we can chart so far over the past 2 or 3 years, £325,000. His last trip in February, he wasn't bothered at all, or didn't seem to be bothered by the mounting negative press saying, hang on, what is this guy doing? He's the guy who sits in the chair going, order, order. I mean, he doesn't need to go around the world. Stop spending our money. But he won't listen. So in February, he went to Malaysia and chalked up his second most expensive trip ever, 25 grand, £23,000 in business class flights for him and his 2 staff. And staying in an expensive hotel. We'll play you a little clip of what he thought about this trip in just a little while. It's extraordinary. Anyway, we got in touch with his office today to ask him if he intends to continue this big spending lifestyle. Before we supply you with their reply, let's talk to political columnist Robert Taylor. Robert, honestly, this is a disgrace, I think. This guy has to be stopped. He doesn't need to be flying around the world at great expense. Now, we asked him today, we said, in the light of mounting levels of negative press and the government's stated desire to cut costs, does Mr. Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, is he planning any more foreign travel, either in the near future or going forward? Would you like to hear their reply?
I'd love to, Kevin. Go ahead.
Here you go, Robert. I don't know what this means, but anyway, here we go. Interparliamentary work is a platform for sharing knowledge and best practice between parliamentarians and parliamentary officials from a range of legislatures, fostering international collaboration on global themes such as safeguarding democracy, MP security and Ukraine. All interparliamentary activity is assessed and planned on a case-by-case basis and seeks to ensure value for money is balanced with business needs and security requirements. I have no idea really what any of that means, but value for money, is he joking?
Well, it's just obfuscation, isn't it? It's just words to conceal the truth, which is, it seems to me, there is no benefit to Britain. What I'd love Lindsay Hoyle's office to come out with is a genuine benefit to Britain and the British taxpayer, who's funding all this junket to Malaysia, to Italy, to Australia. Just one benefit to us of what is really happening. If we got that, we would have some understanding. But there is none. We've just got words and obfuscation. Yeah, we've got to have better than that.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. He's gallivanting around the world at great expense, staying in the best hotels, chauffeur-driven limos, chartered private jet in Montserrat, and so on and so forth. And I think it was last week he said, well, the reason I have to do this is I have to go around the world speaking truth to power. Do me a favour. Have a look at this, Robert. This is when he went to Malaysia recently in Kuala Lumpur for a £25,000 trip. I think it was only 2 or 3 days. And here he is sort of justifying this trip.
Can I just say how wonderful it is to be back in Malaysia? And I've got to say, what a wonderful visit it's been. The fact I came here, I've been to the Parliament, meeting both speakers, meeting the chairs of the Select Committee, talking about democracy. And that's what matters, about my role and the Speaker's role here, and how we can share the best information by working together. And that's what it's about. It's about Commonwealth countries coming together. And I've got to say, what a fantastic visit we've had, going up to Sarai. And I've got to say, that was brilliant, meeting the Premier, the Governor, and the Speaker. What a wonderful visit that was. And then to come back and to be able to go to see those who gave their all when they lost their lives in the war, to be able to lay a wreath to the people who laid down their lives for our futures and our democracies. And the fact there was a link from that cemetery, somebody from my village back in Lancashire, Adlington in Lancashire, who died, who lay in that cemetery. So I've got to say, this has been a great visit, a positive visit, and a big thank you to the staff at the High Commission. And it was wonderful to do the question and answers with them. And that's what it's got to be. It's about making me accountable for the job I've got. So can I say thank you to all for making the visit happen. It's been a wonderful experience. I go back with great memories that I will always treasure.
What a pile of cobblers, accountable for your job. I mean, you've got to remember, Robert, when he said that all that nonsense, right, this is February, by then there was already a building crescendo of negative press, the Mail in particular, really going for him and say, what is going on? I've done a lot of it myself. A lot of people on this channel have questioned what the benefit is to this country from his globe-trotting. That is him trying to justify that trip. It doesn't remotely justify more than £25,000 worth of taxpayers' money, does it?
It doesn't. And I tell you what, Kevin, after the car crash of John Bercow as Speaker, I think a lot of us were really pleased to have Lindsay Hoyle restoring the reputation of impartiality. I mean, John Bercow was about as impartial as a second-hand car salesman on 100% commission. And after him, Lindsay Hoyle, and genuinely I mean this, seems to have restored at least impartiality. I know he's had the... To
some extent. I don't want to get involved in that, but I've got a few questions about his...
I know there have been a few. But he's so much better than his predecessor. And what a shame it is that the guy now is getting involved in this money scandal that is besmirching his reputation as a man of honour. But how else can we look at it with all these jaunts off to Malaysia and Italy and Gibraltar and Australia at our taxpayers' money? How is that excusable?
It's not, because it's not justifiable. You know, I know he's got an important job, but basically it's to sit in that chair and shout order at MPs. He doesn't have to go ever abroad. He really doesn't. And he says he's speaking truth to power. And he also says that he needs to go around the globe to explain why Russia was wrong to invade Ukraine. What the hell has that got to do with Mr. Speaker of the House? Seriously.
It's not his job. It's not his job. That's the Foreign Secretary's job. That's the Prime Minister's job. That's various ambassadors around the world. It is not the Speaker of the House of Commons' job to do that. And let's be honest, you know, Lindsay Hoyle has a fantastic Grace and Favour apartment in the centre of Westminster. It's a lovely, beautiful apartment. He's got loads of perks. Yeah. Does he really need yet more perks? He's abused
this position, and everybody knows it. You mentioned his apartment. That's one of the Speaker's perks. You get this amazing apartment in the middle of the Houses of Parliament. Apparently it's said to have the best view of any residence in all of London. When he moved into it, he had a few improvements made. How much? £7 million. He also had a big painting done of himself, which now hangs in the corridors of power in Westminster. 36 £400,000. This is out of control. This guy, as I keep saying, just stop Hoyle. He must be stopped. This is a government that says, oh, we're really worried about the amount of expenditure, civil service cuts. We got to cut costs. Well, stop this guy flying around the world at great expense then. How about that? A good place to start.
And I come back to the fact that it's such a shame, because when he took over, people were relieved that Bercow had gone.
Agreed.
Do you remember how awful and
God, yeah.
impartial Bercow was over the whole Brexit debate? And we got a man who, at least in the House of Commons, generally speaking, does his job well. And now he's ruining that reputation. And this is a man who's a socialist. He comes from a socialist tradition. There's nothing wrong with that. But you would have thought that's the last person on earth who would waste taxpayers' money on jaunts to Malaysia.
Yeah.
As you say, just stop Hoyle.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, you talk about his socialism. He's an old socialist from the north. Chorley is his constituency. So he's still also a local MP. The locals up there don't see him very often. They have complained about his absence, but I don't know the intricate details of that story. But you know what they say, there is nothing more terrifying in politics than a socialist with an expense account. This guy, honestly, he's out of control, isn't he?
Well, so it would seem. And, you know, it's the same with Rachel Reeves and various tickets to pop concerts and Keir Starmer and posh suits that are paid for by someone else and Arsenal tickets. I mean, for goodness sake, when you're a member of Parliament, just think, when you spend money, it's the taxpayer who pays for it. And the taxpayer is struggling more than ever. Now is the time to rein yourself in. Now is the time to show a bit of decency and a bit of honour. And our politicians, I'm afraid, are letting us down.
Yeah, and you know, he talks about when he went to the Cayman Islands, right? It was to see how the Speaker of the Cayman Islands, House of Commons or House of Parliament, how they operated. Now, the Speaker in the mother of all parliaments does not need to go to a 2-bit Caribbean island to find out how they run their parliament. This nonsense about talking to other speakers about how they run their parliaments, this is one of his excuses, fact-finding and all that. Nonsense, nonsense. All of these trips he has made, if he didn't make them, it wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference to anyone, and we would have saved £325,000. So just stop Hoyle. If you're listening or watching, Sir Lindsay, take a bit of advice from me. Don't go on any more of these jaunts and then try and justify them with ridiculous videos like you made in Malaysia. You're just digging a deeper and deeper hole. It's an extraordinary situation, wouldn't you say, Robert?
I certainly would. Was it the winter months that he happened to be in the Cayman Islands? I don't know, but I wouldn't be at all surprised.
So that's why I always say that it's always the Cayman Islands, south of Los Angeles, Australia. It's never Belgium or Siberia. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Robert, great to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for your time. That's Robert Taylor, political columnist.